Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for, I guess this would be day one of the Aura Cleansing Program. Um, Hopefully you already watched the intro that just kind of explained the cliff notes of this program, what we'll be doing, and you've taken the time to figure out when and where you're going to fit in this, the homework for this class. It will be 6 weeks, so you can take your time though if you need to go a little slower or faster. Just because I send the email, one day doesn't mean you have to do it that day. Just make sure you work through it and get through it eventually. And make sure you message me and keep me in the loop so I can see how you're doing. Okay, I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Always takes me a second here, closing all these other windows. Okay, you should see my screen. So today we're going to be talking about what an aura actually is. Obviously you signed up for this, so you have a basic understanding, or you wouldn't have even signed up for this class. But just in case you don't, I'm going to give you some just basic info. We're not going to go too deep, but here we go. I got you this cute little picture of me. I was caught off guard when this aura photo was taken. I'm like sideways, but an aura is just a light that is around us, right? Everyone kind of knows that much, but they're like, what does that really mean? So if you haven't had your aura photo taken by me, maybe if you're not from Utah and you're from far away, or, I do events all over the country. So hopefully you got one taken by me somewhere else, but at one of the events. But if you did not, I highly recommend getting your aura photo taken. It is so cool to see, so much great info. And there's a lot of places that do it differently. And the way I do it, it gives you a lot of information about what that color actually means. So if you've had a aura photo taken and you want to kind of understand what the colors mean, and maybe there's different colors in different places, if you want to understand any of that, feel free to message me and we can go over that. And if you haven't had your aura photo taken anywhere, there are a couple apps that you can do from your phone. They're definitely not as reliable, like they're not as accurate. I've played with them and it's like every time I do it, my aura is a different color, but it's still kind of fun. So, or just get with me, message me, we'll figure out a way. I am often traveling to different events all over the different states. So anyway, moving on. Okay, so what is an aura? An aura is an actual energy that vibrates away from our body. And so it will actually go around about 4 to 5 feet usually around our body. And so the human body actually vibrates. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, if you follow, because so many people will say that it's kind of woo-woo and it's like that doesn't really exist, but it has been actually scientifically proven that anything that is living, even plants and animals, have auras, because what that is it's our energy centers. Okay, so every single time our body does a process like respiration, digestion, nervous system, circulatory system, that's all electrical and chemical reactions, right? And so by doing that, we're creating energy. And when we eat, the food we eat actually helps us create energy inside of us, and energy to go on and do our daily activities. That's actual energy and vibration happening within our bodies. Okay, so and everyone has probably heard of chakras by now, but we have 7 chakras down along our spine, and there's more like medians and smaller vibration areas as well, or energy centers as well. But those are all just, vibrating and creating energy for us. And so that energy actually does radiate away from our body. And depending on how fast and what frequency that vibrates at, it puts off a different color. So I don't know if there's any science nerds in there like me, but there's light is a frequency and the colors are a frequency, right? And so the auras can actually be the colors of the rainbow. We have proof of light, vibration, and frequency every time we see a rainbow. And so same thing within our bodies, but it's so minimal. It's not as big and bright and vibrant as a rainbow. So you can't just normally see it with your naked eye, but it is there. And some people have very sensitive eyes and connection to those vibrations and frequencies, and they can see them. And by the end of today, I'm going to actually teach you some cool tools and tricks so that you can start to see them as well. But let's see if I covered everything on these notes here. So the human body consists of energy vibrating at specific rates. This vibrational energy produces a magnetic field around the body. So that magnetic field is our aura. And what's cool about that is that magnetic field actually can attract, like we really are just like a magnet and we attract things to us. So, if you're into manifestation, having a nice clean aura and doing this program is going to help you attract what you want into your life. And it can also repel, based on how your aura is doing and the way it's vibrating. Okay, I explained the light comes from frequencies. Yeah, we can't always see them. Oh, yes, we can't always see auras, but we can usually feel them. So I'm sure you've walked into a room and met someone for the first time. You know nothing about them. They've never said a single word, but you can tell that they're giving off like this warm, friendly vibe, or they give off like this busy vibe or like an anxious vibe. You can feel things from people before they even say a word. And so that's their aura. That is what they're putting off, is that vibration. Okay. And that's why we call it a vibe. You're getting, that person's got a real grumpy vibration. And so that is the aura. It's really pretty cool. Okay. So moving on, the aura has different attributes. Okay, so we kind of talked about colors. It can be any color of the rainbow, which would be red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And it can also be in different places. So you could have like red up here and green over on the side, and it can be all different things. And the placements mean all different things. So I'm not even going to go into what they mean, what the colors mean, or what the placement of the colors mean, but they all mean different things. And if you ever get an aura photo taken, I would love to go through it with you and teach you all that. But anyway, so each color is like a personality. And so it tells something about you. So like I have a yellow aura. I'm yellow in the center. Often I'm yellow everywhere, but I'm always yellow in the center, which means that I love to have fun and love to play and make things more interesting that way. And so there's a lot more other meanings to that too, but it's kind of is like a personality test. If you've ever done the colors personality test, like if you're a red personality or if you're a green personality, same idea, but different meanings. Okay. So like reds does not mean passionate and driven in the aura colors, but some of the other things are very similar with the color personality test. Or if you've done like a Briggs-Meyer personality test, very similar concept, okay, where we can look at the color of your aura and the placements and learn a lot about yourself. And so by knowing what your aura looks like and what, vibe you're giving off, it can actually really make a difference in your relationships. It can make a huge difference in your career and your finances and your health. So knowing what your aura is like is really helpful in just wellness all around. And I'm noticing in this photo, there's lines on my face. I'm going to close my blinds. Hold on. Okay, hopefully that helps the lighting a little bit. It's still pretty dark in here. Oh, well. Okay, then your aura can differ in brightness. So some people's auras are very dull. If that's like for me, where I'm a yellow, sometimes, maybe my aura can be like a really soft, dull yellow. And then sometimes it can be really bright, just like vibrant, bright yellow. And so that definitely means things as well. Like people who are happy and positive in their thoughts have more of a bright, vibrant color. And then people that have some negativity in their thoughts, theirs is more faded and smaller aura. Okay. And then the size, your aura, like I said, it's usually most people's is about 4 or 5 feet away from them, but it can be up to 10 feet away from you, which is pretty big. Like that's the size of the room I'm in. Oh, my room's a little bigger, but that's the size of like an average small bedroom. And so it really radiates out. So people can feel you, even if you like, have you ever just been like, I felt someone there and you can't hear them. They don't say anything, but you can feel someone and you turn around and they're like, 5 or 10 feet away from you. That's why you felt their aura. So the size of your aura can range. Most people's, like I said, is about 4 or 5 feet out away from their body. And it all just depends on how much energy you are creating, and that it's like your health, your nutrition, your sleep, your self-awareness, and self-love. And then also, if you want to have a big aura, you can push it out. If you want to have a small aura and you kind of want to hide from people, you can also shrink it in. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay. And then the other thing is the consistency. Some people's auras can be very inconsistent. Like sometimes they're giving off, like how I said, I'm always a yellow, but there's other colors around. Those colors around can change pretty often, but your center, like main aura color, doesn't change very often. And so people can just have different colors. And so that's why sometimes you're like, that person, I get a happy vibe from them. Sometimes I get a sad vibe from them. Sometimes I feel like that person hates me. Sometimes I feel like they like me, without them saying anything. It's just that energy they're giving off. And so, but yeah, like some people's auras are very consistent, and they're like, the aura comes out just nice and smooth like this at people. But sometimes it can come like this at people too. Just like, it just kind of feels chaotic, even if it's a happy and like a loving aura. If it comes out like in waves, it can just feel really chaotic, happy, and love. Does that make sense? So it doesn't even have to be like a negative thing you're feeling from people for it to be inconsistent. Does that make sense? Okay. Moving on. Okay. So by now we kind of talked about this in the little intro, but I wanted to go over it again. If you need an aura cleanse, maybe you don't. Maybe your aura is bright and brilliant and doesn't need any cleansing. But if you have any fatigue, apathy, depression, irritability, anger, if you feel like you don't have any energy for the day, if you feel like you have a weak immune system and you're just catching things easily, then you probably need an aura cleanse. So whether you've had an aura photo or not to know if you need an aura cleanse, you can kind of just feel it, right? If you're just irritable and you're just like, I just don't feel great. I'm not that happy. I'm, angry or just depressed, then an aura cleanse could really benefit. So there's a lot of different ways we can aura cleanse, and we're going to learn all about them this next 6 weeks. So I'm glad you're here. And then this picture down in the corner is of someone who I did an aura photo of, and this, I'm using it for an example so you can see what it looks like if you need an aura cleanse. So if you have had your energy reading by me, go to the page that shows the full body with the halo around it and look at it. Does it look like a perfect oval with nice crisp lines on the side, or does it have these dark spots? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but you can see there's these dark spots, kind of by her shoulder and down by her arm and down by her knee. It's just some dark spots, and it makes it look like it's not an oval really anymore. It's like an odd ovally shape. And then on the, side profile of her body, same thing. There's a big dark spot. Instead of being a perfect egg shape, it is dark kind of by her chest. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So sorry. Also by her knees and by her calves and by her toes, there's some dark spots out of that shape. So that this person definitely will benefit from an aura cleanse. And often what it means, it doesn't mean you're a dark person. It doesn't mean you're a negative person. It just means you've been hurt. Like you've been hurt by either just working yourself so hard, this world we live in, it's like hustle and grind is rewarded. And so you can work yourself so much that you just are exhausted. It didn't mean you did anything wrong, but you could use an aura cleanse to really kind of enliven yourself and feel good again. It could mean you have some trauma that happened in your life that you haven't been able to fully let go of. And so, we don't ever fully let go of, but we haven't come to terms with. And so doing an aura cleanse can really help you release. And especially when we do the breath work, I talk about this all the time. I am a breathwork facilitator because of this very thing, because auras need it. My personal story is I had, just went through a crazy hard divorce, not very nice during that time, and just saying lots of negative things. And I was really hurt by it. And then there was, some incidences where I got hurt, and I just was holding on to a lot of anger. I was definitely in the victim role. And I was just like, how could this happen? How could he do that to me? How can he say this about me after everything I've done and all of that? So just some, pains and things that I had. And so I had my aura photo taken before I had gotten into this, and there you go. This is what it looked like. This is me. So I had definitely had some dark spots that I was just making me feel like not that great. I definitely was going through some depression. I was definitely grumpy with my kids, and it made me feel like I didn't have energy during the day. I was just not feeling great, right? And I did get sick all the time, which is a whole nother topic. If you're had purchased any of my chakra balancing programs, my throat chakra was so messed up, and I would lose my voice. In that year, I probably lost my voice 6 to 8 times in a week long. Like I didn't have a voice for a week. In fact, when I met my current boyfriend, I didn't have a voice, and he's like, "Ooh, sexy," anyway, totally different thing. But I was just getting sick all the time, and saw my aura photo, was like, wow, yes, I need some work. And I found breath work, and it really is the best tool. And so I am going to be teaching you, I think we have on the schedule 3 breathwork sessions we're going to do together, just because I know how beneficial it is for everyone. So anyway, it definitely helped me. And my aura is, really vibrant, like we saw, boom, 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 right there. There's not as many dark spots. This is the bad picture the full body picture is what really shows it, but it's definitely much more vibrant than it was before. So, okay, moving on. Now that you understand auras, I just thought it would be really fun to teach you guys how to see auras. I don't see them, like walking around the street. I couldn't just be like, hey, you're a purple aura. Like, I don't have that gift, but I did learn and, did some research, did some digging on how people actually do see them. And I found ways to be able to see it. And it's fun to share. So I can actually just see them, like if I really work on it, and I'm like, I'll teach you how, but it's pretty fun to play with, and I can see my own, and I can, if I put you against a white wall and cross my eyes, I can see your aura too. So anyway, but I don't see, like, on the aura photos that are, actually captured with Kirlian photography and the biofeedback. I don't see all the different colors and the dark spots. I can just be like, oh, I kind of see a yellow halo around you or a green halo. But anyway, you can do it too. That's what I'm trying to get at, is that anybody can do this because it really is there. Clearly, like I was saying, some people's auras are very dim. And so don't give up if you see it. If you practice on someone and you're like, I just can't see anything, maybe try a different person, because that person's aura might be kind of a muted color and very soft and hard to see, where some's are more bright, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is start by just sensing. You want to, when you're around people, just kind of take a deep breath, exhale it out, and feel in your body how that person's energy makes you feel. I'm teaching a class. I didn't tell my kids. Usually I warn them that, like, don't come in, I'm recording a class. But anyway, so you can start by sensing it, and then just feeling in your body how that feels, that person makes you feel in your gut. It might be like, oh, that I feel really serene when I'm around them, or I feel jumpy or agitated, and then attach a color to that just for fun. Okay, so we're just kind of sensing how we feel around people and attaching a color, just like intuitively. Like, you don't have to be right, just like throw in color onto it. And then once you kind of get a feel of like how people feel around you, you want to start working on your peripheral vision. So the sides of our eyes actually are less damaged. We're not using them very much. And so they're actually more sensitive to the light than just like straight on. And so our peripheral vision is actually where you will be seeing auras. So I'll teach you some other things to do first, but it is kind of out of the side of your eye that you will look at people when you're trying to see their auras. And then also, those cool, I swear this was really cool, like in the 90s maybe, but there were these like art posters that you'd see places that had like a bunch of pixelated squares and stuff. And if you crossed your eyes, you could see an image in it. You guys know what I'm saying? I'm hoping you know what I'm saying, but basically it's when you like cross your eyes and instead of seeing 2 fingers, you see 3 fingers. That, like, when you do that with your eyes, that is when you will see the auras. Okay, that activates your peripheral vision, and that is when you can see the light. Okay, and so start working on that, where you're like crossing your eyes and maybe just looking at one spot for 30 to 60 seconds, and your eyes start to like zone in and out. Start doing that for a while and see how that goes. My nose is itching. I don't know what happened. I'm having allergies all of a sudden. But okay, so then you want to start tuning into colors. You can take, I put in here a book, if you wrap a book, just so it'll stand up, but you could also like tape different colored pieces of paper to the wall, or if you have something that's a solid color in each one, in different colors, use whatever you have. But you're going to be just looking at those colors, and then same thing, take a nice big deep breath, really relax yourself, and then open your eyes and look at the book or the object. And instead of looking right at it, you're going to focus just past it. It's like you're going to look just over it or just to the side of it. And when you do that, especially, you need a white wall behind you. And when you have the white in the background with the color up front, and you're just kind of looking past it, you'll notice that there's like a little halo of yellow or green along the edge of the book or the object that you're looking at. And so that's tunes you into like being able to look at different colors and how the colors affect the halo that you see. Okay. And now we get to the fun part. This is my favorite part. So practicing on ourselves. So get somewhere, if you have a white wall behind you, or get a white piece of paper, and make sure there's no, like, if I do it in here, just the way the lighting is, it's above me and there's no natural light coming in right now because it's evening. You'll have a shadow. So make sure there's no shadows. So doing it with, like, by a window with natural light coming in will definitely make it better. But you want white behind you. And then you take your two fingers, okay? And you're just gonna, like, rub them together and get lots of blood flow and energy there. You can even do your hands for a while just to, like, make it go quicker. But then once you've got it nice and warm, then, like I said, get your fingers. Like, what are you doing with your fingers, you weirdo? But you get your fingers all warmed up and rubbing together, and that just helps kind of like bring the energy to the surface. And then you're going to put them together like this. And then, like I said, do that thing with your eyes. Remember the thing with your eyes? So you kind of like let them go cross, or where you're just looking past your fingers and you start to pull them apart just about this far. And so that's like, I don't know, about 1/2 inch maybe apart. And so when they're about 1/2 inch apart, you'll notice there's like a little cloud or a haze when you have your eyes crossed like that. You'll see a little haze in between them. And so when I do it, I see yellow. When I have other friends who do it, they like see different colors. Some people see green, some people see blue. That is your aura color. It's so cool. So practice on that. You know, I showed you how to do it with these two fingers, but you can also do it like this, like same thing, white wall behind it or white something behind it. And then just pull them about this far apart. And then you're looking through, just kind of past your fingers. Whoa, that looked cool on the camera. Past your fingers. And you'll be able to see a little bit of coloring. Just, I see it just like lining my fingers right here, like right along the edges. It's not a big color. It's just kind of like a little halo along the edge. And you'll just be like, oh, there's like a cloud there, or like a haze. That is the aura. Now pick what color it is. Sometimes for me, I'm like, I think it's yellowy, so, but then sometimes I can totally see it. Depends on the lighting and I think how much energy I have that day. And then moving on to people. As part of your homework, I want you guys to try all of these things at least, once. And then very lastly, you are going to try and look at someone's aura. It can be your kid, it can be your dog, it can be, a friend or anyone, but I want you to try at least one person. And so same thing, you're going to have someone stand at least 18 inches, so 1.5 feet. Is that 1.5 feet? It is, in front of a white wall. And then you're going to step back and you're going to get back to where you can see, like their whole body, or at least their like upper body. So you're going to step back quite a few feet, like maybe 5 to 10 feet. Yeah, probably 5. And I'm trying to envision what I've done. And then you're going to do that thing where you let your eyes relax, take a few deep breaths, exhale it out, let your eyes relax, and do the kind of where you're looking at them out of your peripheral vision. Practice making your eyes kind of go crossed and you're looking past the person while they're doing that. You'll notice that, the background, it might look a little bit lighter around their body than the rest of like the wall. And so then same thing, assign a color to it. Like, okay, I think that looks kind of a green, and that's the aura. Pretty dang cool. So like I said, if you're doing this and maybe you naturally do have that gift and you just haven't tuned into it, maybe you'll be able to see people's auras all the time after you learn how. But most likely, the general public, we have to really kind of focus and like do weird things with our eyes, and then we can start to see that halo of energy and vibration that comes off of people and living things. It's pretty cool. Okay, so this is getting long, so I'm going to cut it off. This is your homework. I want you to try all of those steps, all 4 steps on how to see an aura. And you don't, like I said, you don't need to see them all the time. Just, I want you to try it once or more on people. And then to make sure you're really doing it, I would love you guys to message me. I want to know how it went for you. You don't have to say a lot, or you can give me a whole book, but tell me how it went for you and if you have any questions, okay? All right. I will see you in a couple of days with your next lesson, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.